During the early debate, Governor Mike Huckabee made an impassioned plea against Social Security reform.
So when I hear people say, well, let's make people work till they're 70. That sounds great for white-collar people who sat in a desk most of their lives. You ever talk to somebody that stood on the concrete floor for the first 40 years of their working life? You think they can stand another 5 or 10? Many of them will retire virtually crippled because they worked hard. And we're going to punish them some more? I don't think so. Our problem is not that Social Security is just too generous to seniors. It isn't. Our problem is that our politicians have not created the kind of policies that would bring economic growth.
Governor Huckabee joins us now from Charleston, South Carolina. Governor, thanks for being with us on Fox and Friends.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And you've been shaking hands with a lot of folks on the campaign trail who are blue-collar workers and would be hurt, wouldn't they?
They really would be, and this is what I resent when people say you're not for Social Security reform. Look, the best reform for Social Security is economic growth. If we got our economy growing at 4%, we'd fully fund Social Security and Medicare. Rather than talking about how to cheat seniors out of their benefits, why don't we get the government off its rear end and get this economy growing again? And we can do that if we quit punishing the people who are working, and that's what our current tax system does.
Right, Governor, entitlements is probably one of the most important, but it's not the sexiest thing to talk about, so we don't for some reason. You did. You also know how to win in Iowa. And you say one thing, you've got to win Iowa on the ground. You're doing that. Does that make you doubt what the polls say?
Well, it does, Brian, in large measure because Iowa has a long history of waiting until the last minute. When we polled 5,000 people there just about 3 weeks ago, we found that 75% of them had not made up their minds, and they typically break late. A lot of things can happen in 2 weeks. We're doing 150 events in Iowa this month. We're doing it because we still believe that there's an opportunity to surprise people. Every cycle somebody makes the surprise. I'll tell you the big surprise would be if we ever started electing people who would go to work for those folks that are being forgotten. Right. And that's why I wanted to talk about things like Social Security last night.
17 days to close the gap. He's done it before. He's going to try to do it again. Governor Mike Huckabee, thanks so much.
Thank you. Good to talk to you guys.